Hey, what up, guys? Coming to you this morning, I want to discuss the March fight of the month. It's kind of a new thing I'm doing. The biggest fight of the month that you can look forward to in the month of March. I want to break it down, kind of go more into detail. Make sure you guys are staying tuned. Now, March doesn't have a lot of big-time fights. They got some good fighters fighting in March, but not like big-time showdowns in this month. But one that is a big-time showdown, but it's guys that fly under the radar, is and it's taking place March 21st, and it will main event a DAZN card, as it's going to be basically for the top spot in the cruiserweight division. It's the World Boxing Super Series final at 200 pounds cruiserweight, as it's going to see the number 1 and number 2 fighters in that started in the tournament, and the number 1 and 2 fighters at cruiserweight right now square off, as the number 1 seed, former 2-time world champion Mairis Briedis, takes on the number 2 seed, the IBF champion Yunier Dorticos. This is a big showdown right here, guys. Even if you don't know these guys, these are both entertaining, basically small heavyweights. 200 pounds is a very entertaining division. It always has been. It's one of the divisions that I constantly talk about every year, that I wish it got more love, because it's just so entertaining. For the World Boxing Super Series, they've done their first 2 seasons, both have had the cruiserweights in it. So they've declared 4 world champions, 4 Super Series winners between 4 different weight classes, and they're going to declare a 5th on the 21st, and that'll be the second time the cruiserweights have done this tournament. Now, kind of breaking down the matchup itself, Mairis Briedis, the challenger, he's going to be fighting in Riga, Latvia, his home country. He's Latvian. He's going to be fighting out there, and he's got the home crowd behind him. Now, this guy in 2017 kind of came out of nowhere. He won a big fight at heavyweight. I believe it was against, I don't think it was Mariusz Wach. It might have been Manuel Char, who's actually a kind of paper champion right now. He holds a secondary version of a belt, but he knocked him out. And that kind of put him in the mix because he was more of a natural cruiserweight. He took on Marco Huck, former world champion, after that for the vacant WBC title. And he outworked and outclassed him and scored a convincing unanimous decision and captured the vacant WBC cruiserweight belt that year. That win put him into the first World Boxing Super Series. He entered as a 3 seed. He won his first matchup against Mike Perez, a former heavyweight contender. It was kind of an ugly fight because Perez is a kind of a slick southpaw. Wasn't really on Briedis for that. But then in the semifinal, he went up to unify titles against Alexander Usyk, and a great fucking fight happened between the two. They went toe-to-toe, and it was back and forth, and he still, to this day, he ended up losing a majority decision in that fight, but he still, to this day, is the only guy to ever give Usyk a good fight. It was a really, really good fight. I really enjoyed it. And it was a competitive-ass fight, and that's really why he's at the top of his game, because Usyk hasn't been competed with, and Usyk is one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. He's probably in the top 5 right there, or 6 in the world, and Marco Huck lost a razor-thin majority decision. Mairis Briedis, and some people think he even won the fight. So, after that, he came back he entered the World Boxing Super Series the second season and took on Noel Gavor in this bracket. He came in as a number 1 seed, and it was just a lackluster performance in that one, in a fight he should have lost, but he walked away with a controversial unanimous decision in a fight where most people feel Gavor got robbed, myself included. I thought Gavor won the fight. Then in the semifinal, he had a controversial-ass fight to win the WBO cruiserweight title against Krzysztof Glowacki. He elbowed Glowacki. After Glowacki hit him behind the head, he elbowed Glowacki, and Glowacki went down. It was poor refereeing. Glowacki was out of it. He ended up scoring a 3rd-round knockout, but it was huge controversy. Before the finals could happen, the WBO stripped him of the belt because he refused to fight Glowacki in a rematch because he was under contract to fight in the tournament final. And now that's led him to here. So he's coming in. He's got the home crowd behind him. Good, solid boxer, decent power. has a good chance of pulling the win off. Now, his opponent, Yunior Dorticos, pretty much in 2016, 2017 area, he knocked out, well, 2016, he knocked out Yuri Kalenga to capture an interim belt. That kind of put him in position. That led him to the World Boxing Super Series, where he took on Dmitry Kudryashov, another big, hard puncher, and he knocked his ass out in only 2 rounds. Then in the semifinal, he went in against Murat Gassiev to unify belts. And it was a great fucking fight. Fight of the year candidate. The two went toe-to-toe. And he ended up getting stopped in the very last round against Gassiev, but it was a great final. So he entered this tournament number 2 and got a hard-fought decision, but deserving against veteran Mateusz Masternak in the first round. Then in the semifinal, he went against undefeated Andrew Tabiti, a Mayweather guy, and knocked out Tabiti cold in the 10th round. Beautiful right hand to capture his capture the IBF Cruiserweight title. And now he enters the finals here. This is going to be a really good fight, guys. It's really going to skyrocket. The winner is going to declare himself number 1 in the division for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if the winner moved up to heavyweight like Usyk did after he won. But it's going to be a very good final, and you want to check it out. Who do I think is going to win? I think it could go either way. I really do. Briedis has the home crowd. That's going to fire him up. But I honestly think Dorticos is at the top of his game right now. I think Dorticos is going to knock out Mairis Briedis in this one. Going to be a good fight. Briedis, though, to win, he's got to box, and he's got to stay away, and he's got to wear down. He's got to take a page out of Gassiev's book when Gassiev beat him. The only problem is Gassiev was a 24-year-old fighter when he fought, young, fresh fighter when he fought Dorticos. Briedis is in his 30s. Can he take a page out of that book and outbox and break down Dorticos and knock him out? I think he could, but I believe Dorticos is going to win this fight. His brute force, he punches like a heavyweight, and he's just got that one-punch knockout power. He's called the KO doctor for a reason. I think he wins this one. It's going to be great, though. March 21st. Make sure you check it out. It's going to be on DAZN, likely earlier in the day that day because it's coming from Latvia. But World Boxing Super Series finals, guys, these things are going to continue. These tournaments are huge, and I can't wait to see this matchup. So that's the March fight of the month. Make sure you're checking it out. All right, guys. True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.